If you are trying to conceive, nutrition is one of the biggest factors that goes into healthy fertility for both men and women. And there are 5 animal-based foods that have been shown throughout human history in many different cultures, as well as documented in the current modern day literature, to really help boost your fertility chances of being successful, as well as really helping to develop a healthy baby. And some of these foods might just shock you. Now, currently, 15% of Americans are having infertility issues, really struggling to conceive. 1 in 6 individuals worldwide are infertile. So if you're out there and you're struggling with fertility, know that you're not alone in this. But these foods that I'm about to talk about today have been shown throughout time in many different cultures, as well as in the modern day science, to really help boost your fertility chances and have a healthy pregnancy long term. And I recently had the pleasure of interviewing Lily Nichols, RDN. She is one of the world's foremost leading experts in this space of nutrition, fertility, and pregnancy. And she really agreed and laid out that these foods that I'm about to talk about today are the best foods that you can incorporate for healthy fertility. So jumping right in, this first food that's really going to help with fertility, this is egg yolks. Whole eggs, especially the dark orange colored yolks, are a perfect food for fertility. They're full of the nutrition that both men and women need to become fertile and create an optimally healthy baby throughout pregnancy. I mean, the yolks are full of nutrients like protein, very bioavailable protein, B vitamins, more particularly folate, not the fake synthetic folic acid. This is full of folate. Also choline. Egg yolks are one of the richest sources of choline in the human diet. And listen, it's been reported that over 90% of women are actually deficient in choline. And just upping your intake of this one nutrient alone can drastically improve your chances of becoming pregnant. Egg yolks are also rich in fertility boosting minerals like zinc, selenium, magnesium, iron, and copper, as well as fat soluble vitamins like vitamins A, D, E, and K, all important for boosting fertility and having a healthy pregnancy. And egg yolks are also rich in omega-3s, more particularly EPA and DHA. And all these nutrients that I just listed, the proteins, the amino acids in the proteins, the choline, the B vitamins, the fat soluble vitamins, all of these vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, these are all going to be largely bioavailable and really absorbable for your body to use and assimilate into your tissues in these animal foods, in these egg yolks. You're not really going to find these vitamins and minerals the same as you would in plant foods. And it's this avoidance of animal foods like egg yolks that's really causing our large part of our population to be deficient in these nutrients, as well as have the fertility issues that we're experiencing in the first place. So just upping your intake a little bit, having 2 to 3 egg yolks, whole eggs per day, the white and the yolk per day, can really help your fertility chances. But if you're worried about the cholesterol and the saturated fat in the egg yolk, don't be, because we've already done masterclass episodes on this topic where we've really dissected this, and cholesterol and saturated fat aren't the villain they're made out to be. They're actually quite beneficial for you in the terms of a whole food animal-based diet. Now, the second animal-based food that is amazing for fertility, this is beef liver. This is quite possibly the best food to incorporate if you want to have a healthy pregnancy and boost your odds of becoming fertile. Virtually all healthy cultures throughout time prize the liver of any animal that they've killed. Now, the liver is one of the most nutrient-dense organs inside the body, and cultures just intuitively knew this. They didn't know about vitamins or minerals or nutrients, but they knew that if they ate liver, that they would have better health and they would boost their fertility chances. In fact, cultures all over the globe, the Inuits of Alaska, the Hadza and the Maasai of Africa, the early Native Americans in North America, the Ikung Bushmen, all these different cultures, there's dozens and dozens of current modern day cultures that still cherish liver and that intuitively eat the liver first whenever they get a kill. And many of these cultures also gave expecting men and women that were trying to conceive liver to really boost their fertility chances. And now we have modern day science affirming why they did that, because it's full of so many vitamins and minerals. Here's a brief list of the nutrients that are found in beef liver. Vitamin A, just like we saw in egg yolks, vitamin vitamin A, choline, virtually every B vitamin, including folate, iron, zinc, and all the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamins A, D, E, and K, K2 in particular, as well as boosting your odds of having a successful conception. In fact, protein is so important that studies have shown that when you eat a low-protein diet, and over 50% of women aren't eating enough protein as it is, when you eat a low-protein diet, you actually damage the mitochondria of woman's eggs, reducing the odds of successful implantation. So you need to be making sure that you're eating enough protein from these foods that I'm talking about today. Now, you might be thinking that liver is too high in vitamin A, or it might be toxic because it's a filter organ. These are two common myths that people believe today, and I'm here to tell you that we've already done videos on this topic. You don't need to worry about beef liver containing too much vitamin A. All the studies that have been done on that are from synthetic vitamin A, and you need the vitamin A from beef liver and other animal-based foods like egg yolks, liver, and foods of that nature. And the liver is not a toxic organ. It filters the toxins, but it doesn't absorb them like a sponge. It actually assimilates them into your sweat and in your urine and in your feces, but it doesn't hold on to the toxins like a lot of people might believe. In fact, because the liver is so metabolically active, it's rich in all of these nutrients, and it's one of the most powerful foods that you can eat, not just for fertility and pregnancy, but if you are struggling with energy, or you're trying to get better sleep, or you're just trying to improve your nutrient status all around, because being deficient in nutrients can lead to headaches and migraines. It can lead to premature aging and a lot of other issues that we don't want to experience in our lives. But I get it, eating liver can sound pretty gross, and it might not be the most delicious thing because we didn't grow up with it. Our palates aren't adjusted to eating it. So if you want to get the benefits of liver, first and foremost, I recommend trying to mix fresh liver. Go to your local farm, get fresh cow liver that you can mix into chili or meatloaf or other recipes like that. That's what I like to do. Or if you're not quite there yet, that's all right too. I would recommend getting a desiccated, freeze-dried organ supplement from a high-quality source. My favorite personal source is getting it from Ancestral Supplements. Ancestral Supplements beef liver is sourced from regeneratively raised cows out in New Zealand pastures. They are third-party lab tested for ultimate purity. They contain nothing nefarious inside the products themselves. And the cows are fully grass-fed and grass-finished. They are not fed grain or corn or soy or any other food that the cows aren't adapted to be eating. So if you want to check that out, click that link below and grab yours today. Now, the third animal-based food that can really help boost your chances of becoming fertile and having a healthy pregnancy, this is full-fat dairy. Now, you might be thinking that one, dairy isn't a health food, let alone full-fat dairy. How is that a health food? How's that going to boost my chances of having a healthy pregnancy? Well, there's a massive difference between the conventional dairy that's in the grocery stores that's been pasteurized, homogenized, coming from cows that have been raised in confined cages, fed corn and soy and pumped full of vaccines and who knows what else. There's a difference between that and then having raw dairy from your local farm. Now, I talked about them briefly, but the Maasai people of Africa, they are a culture that have thrived for millennia, eating nothing but blood, meat, and milk. And they do something pretty unique that we can really learn from. They prioritize feeding their men and women trying to conceive raw dairy 6 months leading up to conception. Dr. Weston A. Price noted that the girls were required to wait for marriage until the time of year when the cows were on the rapidly growing young grass, and to use the milk from these cows for a certain number of months before they could be married. They knew that this food was a fertility boosting food and that it would really improve their chances of becoming fertile. Because not only is full fat dairy full of all the nutrients that we talked about earlier, the vitamins, the minerals, the protein, the fat soluble vitamins like vitamins A, D, E, and K2, but full fat dairy in particular appears to be uniquely beneficial because it's been shown to help raise luteinizing hormone and lower testosterone in women. And luteinizing hormone is important for women because that's the hormone that directly releases the egg from the ovary, causing ovulation to occur. So if your luteinizing hormone isn't high enough, then you're not going to be ovulating properly, and that could be a major reason why you're not becoming fertile. So if you want to try becoming a little bit more fertile, eat a few more egg yolks, try a little bit of beef liver, and include a little bit more full fat dairy, preferably raw dairy from a local farm. Or if you can't get that, try vat pasteurized dairy. This is a low temp pasteurized dairy. Get the whole full fat dairy because that's where all the nutrients are going to be. That fat, those fat molecules that haven't been homogenized, can really help to increase luteinizing hormone. Not to mention the full fat dairy. Not talking about the skim milk, the gross skim milk of the 80s. We're back to the full fat dairy because that's what the Maasai do. That's what all these cultures do. They prioritize the full fat, richest dairy that you can get. The full fat raw dairy is key of many fertility boosting nutrients such as riboflavin. This is a key B vitamin which helps to reduce rates of miscarriage by lowering homocysteine levels. Full fat dairy is also full of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. This is a healthy type of fat that's been shown to have a plethora of health benefits, as well as, like I just mentioned, it's full of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamins A, D, E, and K2, and this is all found within the fat of the dairy. I can't emphasize this enough. Please don't opt for the low-fat dairy options because in regards to fertility, it's been shown that in a study involving almost 19,000 women that, quote, higher intake of low-fat dairy foods may increase the risk of anovulatory infertility, whereas intake of high-fat dairy foods may decrease this risk. Not to mention, the cholesterol and the saturated fat aren't foods to fear. In the full fat dairy, this is rich in cholesterol. This is rich in saturated fat. These are good things because these are the building blocks for sex hormones. They're quite literally essential. You need the cholesterol, you need the saturated fat. In the context of a healthy animal-based diet, these are very beneficial. So if you want healthy egg quality, and if you're a man out there, if you want healthy sperm quality, you need the dietary cholesterol, you need the healthy saturated fats. These are building blocks for having healthy eggs and healthy sperm. Again, I talked about this with Lily Nichols on our interview, and she talked about how these are so beneficial for developing healthy fertility. Go check out that past episode if you haven't seen it already. Now, my favorite way to get in these foods is by making a raw milk animal-based ice cream. I've been making this for years. You just mix a little bit of raw milk, raw cream, egg yolks, and a little bit of honey together, and you get a little ice cream maker, throw all that in there, and it makes some really delicious ice cream. It's a really delicious and healthy way to get all these foods in. Now, the fourth out of 5 animal-based foods that can really help your fertility chances, this is fatty fish. According to NHANES data, more than 95% of men and women are deficient in DHA. This is the main omega-3 fatty acid that's crucial for improving egg quality and creating healthy uterine lining. And this leads to successful implantation. For men in particular, DHA is absolutely vital for optimal sperm production and motility. And over 95% of men and women are deficient in DHA. Please hear that. We are deficient because we are intaking too many seed oils that are rich in omega-6s, and we are no longer eating a lot of fish or a lot of red meat that has DHA in it. We're not eating enough egg yolks. We're not eating these foods that have these healthy omega-3s in them. So the long story short is you're deficient in DHA unless you're being intentional about it, because our culture just isn't setting us up for success right now. The easiest way to ensure that you're getting enough DHA is from eating these fatty fish. I'm talking about wild-caught sockeye salmon, not the farm-raised Atlantic salmon. You want to go with that wild-caught sockeye salmon. That's the best one that you can get. Sardines are another great option. Just make sure they're canned in either water or extra virgin olive oil. Shellfish can be another great option. Oysters, shrimp, and other shellfish of that nature. And fish eggs, I'm also a major fan of. Ancestral Supplements also has incredible wild-caught fish eggs. These are going to contain even more EPA and DHA, omega-3s than the actual fish themselves. Fish eggs are an incredible source of omega-3s. Click that link below and you can also check out some fish eggs from Ancestral Supplements. I take them every single day. I'd personally recommend a serving of fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week, but if you're not able to do that, then I would recommend supplementing with a high-quality fish egg supplement or a high-quality fish oil supplement. Now, side note, plants don't contain DHA. You might have heard about vegetables containing omega-3s, but they don't contain DHA. They contain another type of omega-3 called ALA. This needs to be converted into DHA inside the body. Science has found that the conversion rate from ALA to DHA is only 3.8%. And if you're eating seed oils because they're rich in omega-6s, that conversion rate drops to 1.9%. So if you're eating all these omega-3s from plants, odds are your body's not absorbing it. Your body's not utilizing as much as it could. You're only absorbing and converting 1.9% if you're eating seed oils like canola, corn, cottonseed, sunflower oil. The best thing that you can do is to eat fatty fish, sardines, sockeye salmon, and get some fish eggs in your diet. And now the last animal-based food that is incredible for fertility and having a healthy pregnancy, this is bone broth. There's nothing more comforting than drinking a nice cup of hot broth, especially when it's full of all these nutrients that our biology just expects. Now, bone broth has become a buzzword, a buzz food, if you will, over the past maybe 5 to 7 years, and for good reason. Our ancestors, these cultures that I've talked about, they thrived off this food. In their world of food scarcity, not knowing where their next meal was coming from, it would have been a waste to throw out parts of the animal. Instead, they used the parts they couldn't eat, like the bones and the organs and the collagenous tissues. They put it all in a soup and a broth, and they drank that liquid, and it was full of nutrients that we're not getting from the muscle meats, like the steaks and the burgers and other foods. And more in particular, bone broth is full of one amino acid in particular called glycine. Glycine is one of 3 amino acids, and this amino acid is super critical. It's so important for fertility. Glycine is one of 3 amino acids that make up your body's master antioxidant, glutathione. And because of this, when you drink bone broth, it really ramps up your body's production of glutathione. And if you are trying to boost your body's chances of becoming fertile and having a healthy pregnancy, one of the worst things that can happen, and that's going to decrease your chances of having healthy pregnancy, is inflammation and oxidative stress, like eating things too much processed sugar, refined grains, and seed oils. These can all be things that increase inflammation and increase oxidative stress. But if you want to boost your body's own antioxidants like glutathione, you need to be eating more glycine, because getting enough glycine is crucial for managing the silent inflammation and oxidative stress that could be hindering your body's ability to have healthy eggs for conception. L-carnitine is also another amino acid from bone broth that has been shown to lower inflammation and improve endometrial thickness. So as we wrap up this video, I want to leave you with one major takeaway in regards to these 5 animal-based foods. You need to give your body signs of abundance. If you are out there trying to conceive, have a healthy pregnancy, or you're infertile and you're trying to conceive, the best thing that you can do is give your body signs of abundance. Whether you're a man or a woman, you need to tell your biology that the environment that you're living in is safe and that you are thriving, because your biology, as simple as it gets, your biology is not going to want to bring a child into this world if you are in a stressed out state, if your biology is struggling. And if you are not getting nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, that is a sign that you are not in a thriving environment. That is a sign that you are starving. You might be eating all the ultra processed foods full of calories and macros, but what your body really needs are vitamins and minerals to carry out all the biochemical processes that you need to just function at the most basic level every single day. If you want to have healthy sperm, if you want to have healthy eggs, a healthy endometrial lining, healthy implantation, healthy ovulation, then you need to be giving your body signs of abundance. And that's what these cultures have known throughout time. That's why they feed their populations these foods. They feed them egg yolks, beef liver, full fat dairy, fatty fish, and bone broth, because they know that these are the foods that are not only going to give them all the vitamins and minerals that they need, but that is just a way to send signs of abundance to your body. Eat these 5 animal-based foods and send other signals of abundance to your body, like getting high quality sleep, getting off all the devices, getting out in nature, getting sunlight, avoiding all the environmental toxins. If you can send signs of abundance to your body, I guarantee within 30 to 60 days, you will have much better odds of increasing your chances of having a healthy pregnancy. There you have it, guys. If you love this content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below. Please hit that notification icon to be notified anytime that we come out with a video. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to send this video out to somebody that you know needs to see it most, and I'll talk to you next time.